Chapter 4 Hook wanted revenge. The Indians were grateful to Peter for saving Tiger Lily, so they guarded Peter's underground home every night. One evening, when he was telling the children a story, once upon a time there was a gentleman and a lady, began Wendy. Their names were Mr. and Mrs. Darling. I know them, shouted John. They loved their three children very much, continued Wendy. But one night, all the children flew away to Neverland. They must have missed their children very much, said one of the lost boys. They always left the window open at night, said Wendy. They thought their children would come back through it. I want to see Mom and Dad, sobbed Michael. Wendy, let's go home, cried John. Wendy and the children missed their parents very much. Tears began falling from their eyes. The lost boys also felt sad and began to cry. Wendy felt sorry for them. Do you want to come with us? Yes, we all do, cried the lost boys joyfully. Only Peter looked unhappy. I don't want to leave Neverland, he said. And I don't want to grow up either. Peter, you're like our parents. They will welcome you too. Wendy wanted Peter to go with her. Peter, please come with us, said the lost boys. No, if you want to go, just go, Peter said coldly. Then he turned his head away. I don't want to talk anymore. Bye. We can't find our way home without you, said Wendy. Think you can guide them back to town, said Peter bluntly. Just then, Hook and his men arrived above Peter's home. The Indians were not ready to fight, so they were surprised when the pirates attacked, and Hook's men easily won the battle. Then Hook took the mushroom off the chimney and overheard Peter's words. Underground, Wendy and the boys were listening to the sounds above. Which side won? Asked one of the lost boys. If the Indians win, said Peter, they will beat their drums of victory. Above ground, Hook heard this and smiled. He ordered one of his men to beat the drum loudly. Tom, 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 tom. It must be an Indian victory, said Peter. Let's go outside, boys, called Wendy. Goodbye, Peter, said Wendy and the boys. Bye, said Peter sadly and went to bed. Wendy and the children went outside, but Hook and the pirates were waiting for them. The pirates caught them easily and took them to their pirate ship. Hook stayed behind and went underground to find Peter. Peter was fast asleep in his bed. Hook saw a glass of water on the table and dripped some poison into it. Then he climbed up the ladder and went back to his pirate ship. But he didn't know someone was watching him. Tinkerbell had hidden behind the curtain. She had seen everything. Wake up, Peter, cried Tinkerbell. The pirates took Wendy and the children to their ship. I'll rescue them, shouted Peter. Peter felt thirsty, so he picked up the glass. No, Tinkerbell cried and jumped into it. She drank all the poisoned water. Tink, what are you doing? Cried Peter. Hook poisoned it, she said weakly. Then she sank down on the table. Oh, Tink, did you drink it to save me? Tinkerbell could not answer. She was already dying. Peter began to cry, and his tears fell on her. Then Tinkerbell whispered faintly, Peter, if children believed in fairies, I could get well again. Peter cried into the air, Children, if you believe in fairies, clap your hands, he shouted. Please don't let Tinker die. Soon Peter could hear clapping sounds from all around the world. Tinker Bell magically came back to life. Tink, you're alive, cried Peter. Let's go and rescue Wendy.